Willie D Live.
By the way, man, I'm impressed, bro.
Thanks, man.
I am thoroughly impressed with you as a father.
Thank you, man.
As a husband.
Thank you, brother.
As a man.
Thank you.
Because I can tell you, it takes a lot for a parent to allow their child to have a voice.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes, we as parents feel like, "Hey, I brought you here. I can take you out.
Yes.
I can tell you what to do.
I
don't
was
care
there.
What's going
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.
I know best.
Yeah.
I done spent all this money and spent all this time and bought all of this stuff.
Yeah.
You need to listen to me.
Yeah.
And it's very important that they know that they can have a voice around you.
Yes.
Because all of us, we may. Many of us may not want to be seen, but we want to be heard.
Definitely want to be heard.
Everybody want to feel like they're being heard.
Yeah.
And it is paramount for your child to know that that's a safe space around you.
Yeah.
So salute for that, bro.
Thank you, man.
Salute
I had to
for
work on it, and again, it goes back to that younger me. Like, I got to compensate. So, I'm not going to try to hear you. You know what I mean? And I learned so much from my kids, man. It's been beautiful. It's been beautiful to see growth and to experience growth, admit when you're wrong. And my wife says, you stubborn. You don't never, and I'm just like, I'm not stubborn, but am I? So it's beautiful to experience that, especially with your kids, man, because they just I look at them and like I'm amazed, not amazed that they're good kids. Of course, we all think our children are great, but they're respectful. I don't have to, as much as I try to tell them, be careful here, don't do this. We both you still find yourself being that parent. And I told them, I said, look, that's never gonna stop. I'm always going to want to know you okay. I'm always going to want to know when you get somewhere, let me know you okay. My son, he'll do that. My daughter, she'll get there. And I'm like, hello. She'll be like, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm just like, I'll just work on that, because where the world is today, it is so different from when we grew up. We had, I don't know about you, but I know my neighbors were able to whip my behind and then tell my parents.
It was like that for me.
Yeah, he was out there cutting up and boom, 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 bring you to the door. You can't do that now. So a lot of these kids just create their own rules, their own lane, and you can't say nothing. If you say something, they fight you, or they pull a strap out on you. And it's I'm just thankful they are who they are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You come a long way. I want to know though, what is it about your growth and development that you feel that it's not happening fast enough?
Sometime I that's a good question. That's a really good question. What do I feel about growth? Honestly, as much confidence it seems I have, I have to work on that quiet insecurity sometimes, around my peers.
Yeah.
And yeah, around my peers. I know all those guys in the business, and and I'm like, hey man, I do that too. Hey man, I've been doing this since blah 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 blah. And you see people make strides, and sometimes you find yourself comparing yourself to that. Like, why? Oh man, how come I did? Oh man, I wish I would. But everybody has their path. And I just that's where I fight, that inner fight sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that role of Pookie in New Jack City in the play.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, I can't like give you enough pats for that one.
Thank you, man.
How much of that role has cost you? How much energy has that role cost you?
It's a lot of energy. It's a lot of energy. Not only what I'm doing, running around, but going to those places, coming out of them. It's the ups
That's
and
what
the
I'm
downs.
talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about that
Mm-hmm.
that inner energy.
It's a lot. It's taxing. You know, you do 2 shows a night. It's definitely taxing. But I in some ways compartmentalize it. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I know I need to use it here. I need to use it here, and then I got to let it go. Like, I can't take that with me after. Sometime I get back to the hotel and I still be having some stuff going on the inside. And I just got to kind of decompress. You know what I mean? And let that go. But yeah, I compartmentalize it sometime, and I just know that, okay, for here, I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna let it go here. Use it for here. I try to use the comedy to release some of that, and to find that balance. Find that balance, because you got to have that balance.
Right.
You have to.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you strike the balance with your profession?
Mm-hmm.
You're in the entertainment industry, and so how do you? And then your wife is in the entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
How do y'all have a normal life?
Mm-hmm.
How do you balance that? How do you balance your professional lives and with some sense of normalcy for the children's sake?
It's even though we're in the business, it's always just felt normal. It just always felt like, hey, this is our profession, this is what we do. But it's always felt normal. Like, anybody that knows us, we love to throw great parties. We throw parties. We still got the red cups. Like, we, you know what I mean? Like, we like to have fun. I get up, DJ. We just love people around, good food, good fun, and the structure with the kids. We had a village. Had a lot of people step in to help. My in-laws helped. My mom came into town, stayed for a while, helped. My wife's cousin helped. Like, we had a lot of people stepped in to help. They gave us the tools to be able to go if we had to travel. Like, if she had to go here, or I had to go, if she had to go to Japan and I'm here shooting something, or we both had to go overseas or wherever, we always had a village that stepped in. And I think that's what kept that sense of normalcy, because everyone around us has that same energy, that normalcy. It's like, just like, I don't have the, I know a lot of people, I know a lot of, big name people and that, but we're not around those people all the time. We finish doing what we're doing, we come home and we chilling. We don't, we're not invited to a lot of the big star-studded things, and it's fine. And I think that kind of just keeps us balanced.
Yeah.
Do
y'all live in L.A.?
No, we outside L.A.
I knew it.
Yes.
You know how I knew it? Because y'all still together.
Yeah.
Everybody that I know in the L.A. area, and I'll just say that wherever you live, it's in the L.A. area.
Yeah.
All of them who have been married for a long time live outside of L.A.
Yeah.
They live everywhere but in L.A. And your reason for doing that?
Really, when we decided to have children, we looked for school districts, good schooling and nothing that was overpriced. We wanted to find a nice house. And at the time that we moved, the area we were in, it was kind of an upstart area. So we went out to a friend of hers. They lived out that way, and we drove by. We saw a sign that says new homes. Like, oh man. So we called it, went, checked out. I was like, yo, this is nice. And that's literally how it happened. We knew we were having children, wanted a good school area. We moved there, and we just ended up staying out there because we love the area. We love where we are. And we didn't think in our heads like, okay, we're gonna get away from all the craziness. It wasn't even that thought. It really wasn't, because I think wherever we go, we're gonna bring peace. You know what I mean? So we never really felt like, but it was just like, hey, we heard about, the school district is great here, and da da da. It's almost like a private school. And that's really what we thought about. Having space, because we were living in an apartment where we met. We were living in an apartment there, and we knew we wanted a home, so we moved out there. And at that time, I mean, houses were, way cheaper than they are now. I mean, I think houses were like $300,000 at that time. So that was the smart move, and I don't regret that at all. And it's not to say or shame or say that if you're in the inner city that you can't find good schooling. Not to say that at all. It's just that's the choice that we made. That's why we moved out, and we just stayed out there. We loved it, and there's so many people now. Yeah, Bokeem Woodbine is out in my area. Dub C. Like, it's people you would never think is out there, and we all in the area, and it's great. It's a nice little community. We have First Friday events. I DJ. People come out. We have food, and just to get to know us in the area,